today, and we're going to see if another team is going to be able to do it. This time in a different format, of course. It's going to be on Sacrifice, the new 4v4 game mode that we do into it, and it's going to be on a different map here. We haven't seen this one played yet today. It's going to be jumping over here into Burial Chamber. So let's take a look and see if the guys from Turbo are going to be able to upset against Team Liquid at all. Soul spawns in 10 seconds, and then the real action begins.
Yeah, Soul spawns right in the middle of the map down in this pit, so it's going to get really hectic here.
MCCOOL trying to hold on to it right now. He did just lose it to his teammate though, but he's sitting right behind him, trying to just hit him with a railgun at close range. Unfortunately, that's the problem with not being able to run around and get a kit built up so early. So Team Liquid, they're going to escape with it. Riggs tried to go in and get a little bit cheeky there at low HP. Was hoping he could get one with the gauntlet, but not going to work out too well. And at the end of the day, actually, as a surprise to me, it looked like Team Liquid was going to be able to complete the run, but someone from Turbo must have stolen it at the very last second and taken Team Liquid's obelisk.
Yeah, they tried to throw the Soul over there, tried to do a pass, and it looked like they had an interception, and Turbo just ran into that obelisk. So a nice steal, because it looked like Liquid wanted that obelisk, and Turbo took it from him.
Well, Liquid at the very least is going to be able to get back control of the Soul relatively quickly, but there's already players that are going to try and steal it. Won't get very far though, as ID reclaims the Soul into his team's obelisk, and now Team Liquid is going to be able to take control of the early lead here. ID, nice shot with the rocket, instantly killing the dreams of that Anarchy from stealing the Soul away. And now they switch to defense, but they got the wrong read on it right now. They're putting a lot of their defense on the right side. Meanwhile, most of their players moving in from the left here, trying to push in for the direction of the Mega Health, and they're going to be able to get that steal despite the clutch. And I like that actually with what we saw there. The clutch trying to move back in, but then the slash used the trail to limit the ability for the clutch to actually stand on that point. She didn't get the area encircled, but if that character is able to do that, that's actually a pretty good way to just push everyone off the obelisk and make them reset the timer. Yeah,
we haven't seen a lot of slash play, rather in duel. We've seen it here and there, but yeah, it's Sacrifice, like you said, leaving the trail around that obelisk, a very effective strategy. We haven't seen it much yet, but it was nice to see it there.
We're probably going to be seeing that used a lot more often throughout the course of this game, of course, but right now it is Team Liquid just dominating things. That could change in a few moments though, as we do have the power-up spawning soon, but Wins on his own. I like what he's doing, using the stealth to move in here and sit right up on top of it, trying to get it, but no, the clutch, I believe. No, Wins did actually get it, so he's going to be able to grab that protection, and he'll have that beautiful buff to start things off. He can roll right over to point B and jump right into combat here, taking all of the aggro from his opponents here, and you can see it. They're trying so hard to knock him out. He's not going to be as strong since he is in the Nyx there, and he'll be relatively squishy, but you can tell, standing out in the middle of nowhere, just right in the open, doesn't even seem to matter. She's ripping these players to shred, not even giving Turbo a chance.
Yeah, great play by Wins here. For the people a little unfamiliar with Nyx, her Ghost Walk ability is exactly 3 seconds till you reappear, so he popped it exactly 3 seconds before the power-up, stood on it. It really gives no chance for your opponent. If they try to stand on it too, they're going to get telefragged when the Nyx comes back, and it was just great play. It was a great play by him.
Now rapha's moving back in. He's got some speed so that he can defend this point a little bit better. Already with a double kill, going for the third, and he gets it with some teammate assistance there. DaHanG's going to be the one that actually picks up that kill, but now with the respawns arriving back over to point B, it's looking good for Team Liquid to hold on here as rapha continues to dominate.
Yeah. Other than that steal early on by Turbo, and they got those few percentage points, Team Liquid's just been all over them. They've been really dominating this first round.
Yeah, there hasn't been a whole lot. I don't think they've been able to really get it outside of the lava pit even once, unfortunately. They've just been stuck around this obelisk the entire time. They've been having a really rough time with trying to steal it and send it back over to Obelisk, despite that initial 8% that they were able to cap before.
Yeah, they're gonna have to make some kind of adjustment. It's really tough, because obviously Team Liquid's very talented, so you can't just put it all on Turbo. You got to give credit to Team Liquid here for just being a talented group of players.
Oh no!
But this is a big steal. Hopefully Turbo can get something going here. A steal, good defense, and secure those power-ups. I can't say it enough.
Well, there's the cap finally, just when they needed it too, as Team Liquid was about to push up to 100% without much resistance. So now it's going to be the time for Turbo here to try and channel it on their own regard. They'll have to attempt to hold on here for another 90% or so before they're really going to be able to make a comeback. Riggs and rapha getting a nice double kill. He's going to look for the third now, but geez, double crosses coming in there on the rails, as you can see those connecting onto him. And actually, the members of Liquid unfortunately getting split up quite a bit, as they did focus on the power-up, and I believe they were able to get it. So they should have that now to be able to push back in and steal the Soul in. In fact, it's just an open door right now. They're going to be able to easily walk back in. They've got their Nyx with the protection. They're going to hand the Soul over to the Nyx, and the Nyx should be able to run across the map here. Few players in the way, so they're going to try to avoid that, but they've got a pretty easy time to run this across the map with the protection assisting the Soul Runner.
Yeah, big protection pickup for Team Liquid. It can really help them secure the win here for the round number 1. It looks like they got it back to the obelisk okay, and it's going to be really tough for Turbo to get this 99% to 33%. Really hard to come back. You got to have a lot of things go your way for that to happen.
They have to take down these last stragglers, and of course rapha's going to try to do it with some style there, using the gauntlet to get one of the final kills of the round. And finally, Team Liquid does complete that sacrifice. They're going to win round number 1.
Solid performance by Team Liquid in round 1. Very solid. Like I said, they lost the soul initially. They were doing a little pass routine. It looked like Turbo just intercepted it, you know, took that obelisk. But other than that, I mean, Turbo was really getting stomped in that round. It was really hard on them. But again, you got to give credit to Team Liquid for, you know, being the team that they are, the players that they are. They're not making it easy for Team Turbo, that's for sure.
There's a nice bounce from Riggs, trying to push one of the members of Team Liquid away. It's Wins actually. Well, was trying to counter that one out, and he did succeed in doing so. But now we've got the soul spawn coming in. MCCOOL was able to take the soul initially, but in tossing it away, it was immediately taken by Team Liquid. So now ID is going to be able to grab it, and now they get Obelisk. This was the one they originally wanted back in the last round, but like I said before, and a little bit of a mishap there. Someone from Turbo was able to steal it away at the last second. Now they get this one though, and they're going to have control over the Church Obelisk.
Yeah, you could tell right away when ID grabbed it, and they wanted it last time you saw the pass. So I'm curious to see, you know, if Turbo can get anything going. Obviously, this is Team Liquid's preferred obelisk, so you would think maybe their defense might be even a little tighter than the last round when their defense looked excellent at the other one as well. So if they're even better at this obelisk, that's rough.
Well, Turbo was able to steal it away off the obelisk relatively quickly, so they're going to start a run back over here to point B. Toss back the final second though, and now Win's trying to move in and get it here, but he is running interference. He's not really focused too much on the soul itself, mainly kind of picking up power-ups and whatnot there. As you can see him trying to push players off the map a little bit. Someone else from the side of Turbo was able to steal that soul back, but now Wins is going to move in, looking to flank around the backside here, and not really tap to the soul. You'll notice that Win sort of has an assigned role. He's not really having the job of actually going in and trying to steal the soul away himself because he's on the Nyx and because he's super squishy, but because he has the extra mobility, he can sort of hang around the backside there and be just a huge menace to these defenders that are trying to stay on the point, because he can just hide in the back and do basically free damage to them for so long.
Yeah, it looks like he's playing kind of that harasser role, you know, really doing the damage you said. Even in the power-up, right, the initial power-up, he went his ghost walk. It seemed like that's the person they want to really handle that kind of thing.
So now DaHanG is going to get back control of the soul, and he should be able to complete this run. However, he's going to get hit by rockets like that. That won't help his case. Does get it inside, but now, look at this. We've got a power-up spawn coming back in, and this is going to be an important one here. As we can see, Pineapple gets it initially. He goes down moments later. So the real question here is now who has control over it. I believe that the members of Turbo still have it, but we will have to see who exactly managed to pick up that quad and is going to be able to roll with it right now. And yeah, indeed, now Turbo is going to be having control over the quad. They'll be able to work with that one and start to push back in to steal the soul away again, which is exactly what they've just done.
Yeah, Pineapple took a note out of Win's book from the last round and did a nice ghost walk and appeared right on top of the power-up when it spawned, so it's a good play.
Yeah, MCCOOL trying to stay alive here now as the quad is getting close to expiring here, and well, I'm pretty sure Team Liquid just completely wiped the board of everyone from Turbo here, so they're going to have a pretty easy time taking it back into the church, recapping it, and starting to channel up past 30%. You'll note that they're having a little bit more trouble this time, really getting themselves set up to defend this properly. They've only gotten up to 30% so far, whereas at this point in the last round, I think they were well past 60% by the 3-minute mark here.
Yeah, they had strong defense in first round, but still, they're in great shape right now. I mean, you can see that even when Turbo gets the steal, they're having a problem, you know, getting it back to the other obelisk, and those scrums in the middle when it's getting a little messy, Turbo's just getting the worst of it in the scrums. Seems like Team Liquid's winning those important battles, those team battles to get control of the soul.
ID was the last bastion of defense there temporarily as the members of Team Liquid were off the point running interference, trying to make sure that they pick up these big weapons and are able to get kits for themselves. That'll be problematic as now the soul's been stolen away from him. Wins was basically waiting on the other side of the map, but now he's going to group with a teammate here. They're going to ambush the soul. Carrot got tossed up before they could successfully take him down, though, so the soul's going to go back the other way as it is in the open right now. However, back in the hands of Team Liquid as they're sending it the other way. Wins now has control over it, and he has to complete the run. He's got to be a little bit careful, like I said, because of his lower HP. Going up against MCCOOL, pushing him into the corner of the clutch there now. Wins completes the run. It's back under control of Team Liquid yet again.
Yeah, nice team support for Wins, even though he ran into the clutch with the lightning gun. He had a teammate behind him also shooting rockets at the same clutch. Took out the clutch, got the capture, and so they can get their percentages moving up.
Wins with a clutch stealth as well there. Was just able to keep himself alive by popping the Shadow Walk at 1 HP. Never able to get that health back, of course, so he does eventually go down a few seconds later. And the members of Turbo actually getting quite a few kills here, so that's going to open up the wayside for these guys to go back in with the quad, too. Steal this soul away, and they should be able to get a... Oh, I was going to say they should be able to get a pretty clean run, but apparently not.
Yeah, nice rocket on the obelisk there. And, you know, caught a couple guys. Quad carrier was low. Unfortunate for Team Turbo to lose that there. I mean, when you get quad like this, and you really want to be able to turn the tides, and unfortunately for them, they really couldn't get anything going. But again, you got to give credit to Team Liquid for really minimizing what they could do with the quad.
It just seems like at the moment, every single time someone from Turbo is able to steal that soul away, they can only really get it about halfway across the map before either Team Liquid intercepts it when they go for a toss, or something else gets in the way. Like their entire force that's set up to defend the soul when they're running it just gets wiped. Like you can see a great example of that right there. They have no problem stealing it. They have no problem getting into this point and getting it off of the actual obelisk itself. They just can't really get it that far. And unfortunately, that's going to end up probably costing this second round, as now it's 92-3. The guys from Turbo really have not been able to accomplish much just yet, and more reinforcements from Team Liquid are on the way just as they were about to steal the soul again.
Yeah, I think one of the issues Turbo's having, as I was mentioning earlier, they seem to be getting the worst of it in these scrums and these little battles. So anytime they do steal it, or they get away and they win this battle, it seems like they're just critical health. You know, they're ready to die at 10 health, 15 health, very little armor left. So that's Liquid. Seems like they're winning those battles, and even so, even when Turbo does get away with the soul, it doesn't seem like that much left.
So there we go. First map is going to be closing out in dominant fashion for Team Liquid, as they do indeed take it 2-0. The top leaders in the server, actually MCCOOL and ID both tied on either team. I read the death counter for MCCOOL. That's actually my bad there. ID with 28 frags overall, and his teammate rapha not too far behind at 26. Team Liquid takes the lead in a dominant fashion, and they do get to start the series off 1-0, pretty much as expected so far here.
Yeah, and the scoreboard, I think, verified what we were talking about, the scrums and the battles going Team Liquid's way. You can see their kill-death ratios were much better than their counterparts. That certainly helps in a team environment when your opponent has to respawn more often than you. That's a great feeling.
Absolutely. So now we're going to be jumping on to our second map. We're heading back over to the ruins of Sarnath for the second map this time too. We already saw that played a little bit earlier, and we saw how chaotic that map can be if players are not really able to hone down the defenses on their own obelisk. It's very easy to just steal that soul, toss it away, and basically let the chaos of the game decide who's going to be able to get control of it from there. Yeah,
one of the things we've seen with Sarnath is how there's various routes to get to so many different areas of the map. So you can cover ground relatively quickly, and you can change direction relatively quickly and still get to the same place in the end. So it'll be interesting to see, how the soul passing works out. Do they throw it over the archway like we've seen into that pass, or do they throw it into the pit, maybe have a scale bearer run up, charge it, and grab it? And we've seen that routine before, where they kind of throw it down there, and their teammate scale bearer charges right into the soul, so they get that momentum first, and then keep running with it. So there's a lot of strategies you can play on this map.
Well, Team Liquid are looking great to continue pushing forward as long as they play like that. Again, they were dominant throughout most of the just in their fragging potential there too. Every single big team fight for the most part, it always seemed to, generally speaking, go the way of Team Liquid. They may have been able to, on the Turbo side of things, trade it back like a little bit after the fact, but it usually wouldn't let them get a huge amount of control. Besides being able to maybe go in, steal the soul away for about 5 to 10 seconds before it was eventually recapped by Team Liquid there. And that was the big problem, like I said before, was they really just couldn't make a complete run across the map. Hopefully that'll be a little bit easier on this map, because one, I think this map is a little bit more closed off. There's a little bit more coverage if you can successfully get it out of the immediate area of an obelisk, and that should make it a little bit easier to complete some of those runs, as I think that was part of the big problem for Turbo on the first map.
Yeah, but they really need to work on the, I don't know if it's target selection. Obviously, it's really tough. Let's be real here. They're going against rapha, they're going against DaHanG, these guys. So the combat aspect of the team match here is really hurting Turbo. They need to somehow turn that around. It seemed like even when they got the power-ups, they got the quad under control, it just seemed like they really couldn't make the most out of it because of, they're really up against it right now. Liquid's really pressuring these guys.
Well, guys, we have loaded into our second map, so as soon as we get through the warm-up here, we'll be good to jump into the combat and get things started here and see if Team Liquid is going to be able to push through and get a quick 2-0, or if we'll see a little bit of revenge from Turbo, taking us to a third and final map. It's all yet to be seen, of course, and it is going to be starting in just a few seconds here, as we'll get to see some of the big all-stars from both teams show up. Like I said before, MCCOOL, despite that death counter there, was still the top fragger for his team in the last match, so we'll hopefully be able to see him step up a little bit more. Overall, I think a lot of these guys do need to step up their fragging potential, as they were losing in a lot of those opening fights, and that was costing them quite a bit every single time. Both those rounds, Team Liquid did get the initial soul cap. The first round was a bit of an exception because of the fact that it got stolen away at the last second, but Liquid basically completed the run, and then there was a cheeky steal right at the very last second at the obelisk itself that prevented them from getting the cap. And even so, the members of Turbo only got like 8 to 10% before it was stolen away, so that translates to about like 5 to 10 seconds of channeling.
Yeah, it was a nice interception early on for Turbo. It started off excellent from them, and then it just went completely downhill after that. So they need to get some momentum back. One of the things, you go into a new map, as it gives you you a chance to mentally reset, you know, and employ, you know, this is their map, they picked it, so maybe they got something up their sleeve for Liquid.
All right, guys, well, the second map has started, so let's get into it here now and see if the guys from Turbo are going to be better off here on the ruins of Sardak. For Liquid, starting things off, they're actually going to remain pretty quiet. They're not really trying to get super aggressive control over the Mega Health room where the Soul is going to initially spawn. They've got 5 seconds until it moves back up. They've got a lot of players waiting on that outside hallway to quickly charge back in and attempt to steal it. And we can see MCCOOL channeling off the shield there to try and prevent members of Team Liquid from being able to push back in. Doesn't matter though. ID goes in with the slip gate, gets a kill easily there. And just like that, Team Liquid's got the initial cap again.
Slick by looking, we have the benefit of X-ray, thank goodness, and you can see the positioning of Team Liquid around the Soul spawn. So even though Turbo was there, it seemed like their plan was to ambush Team Turbo after they picked up the Soul, and it just worked out great for them. Absolutely,
they completely blocked them out of the hallway there. The guys from Turbo made the complete wrong choice of where to take that Soul, and right at the very end of it, we saw, like I said, ID just coming in with the slip gate, knocking out his opponent relatively quickly, and making it easy to knock these guys out and run that Soul. And now Rapha, he's just getting greedy. He's moving all the way to the other side of the map, getting kills here too. Knocking these guys out one by one, keeping them on a respawn timer. As long as he himself doesn't go down, this is working out great for him as he's delaying the actual attempt to go in and steal that Soul. And even when they do now go for it, look, it's like one guy left alone, and he doesn't get very far.
Yeah, watch out if you got rapha, DaHanG, ID. You got these guys running around stacked, picking up the Mega Health, picking up the heavy armor. It's tough enough to beat these guys in combat as is. You don't want to be giving up a superior stack to these guys. And it seems like they're running the items a little better as well.
They finally do overwhelm Team Liquid on the defense there, but again, they're struggling to get it outside of the LG room back downstairs here. Finally, they're going to be able to complete that. That was some good movement coming out from their clutch, and Riggs holding on here too. Nicely done. Just survived the encounter by using that injection to keep himself in the fight. So they're going to be able to get a channel going. Unfortunately, they're going to be contested by some players over here. ID specifically is still sitting in the back line, causing some trouble, but MDO is able to take care of that with the sword line spin. MCCOOL coming back in now to contest the power, because we've got the first one coming in 5 seconds. Nice lineup there from MCCOOL to be able to knock out one of his opponents with a rocket. And there's the quad. His team is going to be able to get it. It's Turbo with the early control.
Yeah,
they're going to be able to keep it.
Yeah, big power up pickup for Turbo. They need to get the Soul back though on their end. So the really maximizes. You want to be defending with the quad. You know, attacking. This is really wasting time. That's a good steal. It looks like they might get it here.
Yeah, MDO just hanging out in the middle here, going to be trying to stop anyone that's moving over from the other point from being able to push back in here easily. And Liquid, I think, are just going to hold it back until his power goes away. It's already going to be expiring in a couple of seconds here, and you can start to see the push back up. The Nick specifically just stealthing in there pretty quickly. MDO, he's lost the quad damage and wins with that. He's going to be able to move in and start doing some serious damage himself. Unfortunately, the rest of his teammates aren't being as lucky. Both Wins and DaHanG got knocked out. Rapha's trying to make a push back in. So is his other remaining teammate here. The Respawn's trying to move back in. Riggs trying to push back in, but unfortunately Riggs brought down low, but he was able to use the injection. Got some support from his teammate here too. Rapha took down MCCOOL, excuse me. The Soul is going to get stolen away, and it looks like they're just barely going to make it over to their side of the map too. DaHanG almost lost his teammate there. Almost lost the Soul Runner at the hands of a nice rail shot, but it was just off the mark.
Yeah, and I was also, even though Team Liquid just pulled ahead again, that was also the first lead Turbo has really had since the beginning of the first map, round 1. So it was, they made an effort here, and they pulled it back. So they got a shot here. They're really making Team Liquid work. They just need to get the Soul back at their end and control that quad. You know, the quad seemed like it really helped them out. So I think the protection will be up next. They can secure that protection. It can really change the momentum here.
Those last couple stragglers from Turbo weren't really successful in trying to immediately re-steal the Soul and send it over towards Obelisk B. So they are kind of looking to get themselves back together, but Liquid are not making that easy. They're a very aggressive team in the way they play this out. This does come back to bite Liquid, however, a few seconds later, when we do end up seeing those players that have overextended go down, and then it leaves their overall defense setup kind of weak. Like you're seeing right now, like eventually they were able to clear out all 4 players from Liquid and leave it as an open site. But Liquid's smart about this. On the respawn now, they go in, they try to play aggressively over towards the enemy Obelisk to prevent them from even getting the cap, so they can immediately steal it away. And also, obviously, we have the power-up spawn coming back in here right now, too. So who's going to get it is the question. We'll have to see who is able to control that power, but it looks like, again, it's going to be the guys from Turbo that get it.
This is big. This is really big right now. This is their big chance to get back into this match, take the lead, and really switch it around. Now they'll put some pressure on Team Liquid. Oh, that was a huge telephrag by AD to take out the protection
It's the
carrier.
second one he's gotten in this round, too. He got one towards the beginning, too, and it might have gotten 1 or 2 more throughout the course of the round. There we go. And not only is he going to be able to steal that protection, now he's got the Soul, too. So beautiful stuff from ID. Just as it's running out, he's going to be able to get to the other side. He's got to be careful, though. as we do have a player with Drill. He's dangerous. He's already taken out one of his teammates, and oh, MDO comes out and takes down that Soul Runner. It looks like it did get capped, but it's going to be pretty quickly stolen away, unless Team Liquid could move back in and get their defense going. No, not the case. The Soul's gone. It's changing hands right now. No one really able to get control of it. Right now it's Team Liquid, but MDO is holding these players off. Not for long, though, as Rapha busts out the gauntlet for a quick kill to cap it.
Yeah, nice play by Liquid here with the power-up and ID. I mean, that really swung the momentum. I mean, Turbo looked like they were ready to set up a strong defense with that protection. ID came up with a nice slip gate frag, you know, to steal the protection. I mean, it really just changed the momentum of this round big time. Just when it seemed like Turbo was really starting to get something going, it's just like Liquid what a gut shot.
And now DaHanG, once again, as we can see, railing these guys left and right. There's some kind of tankier characters here. You got to collect it to deal with, so that's going to be kind of problematic. You can see him going through the portal to get away from that. We've got another power spawn coming in, but to be completely honest here, oh wait, hold on, they're going to make one last ditch attempt to push back in, but they timed it poorly, so it's not going to matter much anyway. It was looking like for a second they kind of gave up there, but at the last second they all tried to push back in. Unfortunately, like I said, they mistimed it, and as of that, they didn't even get a chance to contest it there. So Team Liquid is going to be able to claim round number 1 on this second map.
Even though Team Liquid, obviously they're the favorite, we could talk about them all day, but I thought Turbo did a much better job in that round, especially compared to map 1. They showed they had a chance. They really did have a fighting chance there, and it took a great play from ID, because I thought if they secured that protection the whole way, that round would have gone any direction. But that was a great play by ID, honestly. That was a pivotal point.
Rapha's going off here right at the start too. No one's punishing him. Look at this. All of a sudden he gets super aggressive. He drops the Soul. He's up to like 4 or 5 kills just in this round alone. So Rapha's going off nice and quickly here. He is going to try to toss that Soul away, but MCCOOL, nicely done. He uses that big bulky hitbox to intercept it, along with busting out the shield, and then as well the gauntlet to finally end Rapha's wrath.
Yeah, one of those things, you know, maybe somebody might want to keep an eye on Rapha when he's running around shooting, you know? Yeah, somebody you might want to look out for.
So Turbo steals the Obelisk choice from Team Liquid that we saw in the last run here. They're going to take Obelisk A this time around here and attempt to channel it in their own favor. It's working out quite well for them so far. Wins, though, is doing quite a bit of decent damage, but not too much. He was unable to really take anyone down, and ultimately he does get knocked out. 3 quick kills for members of Team Liquid. Riggs is holding on by using the gauntlet up close there. He's going to be able to get one. Going for a second now, using that movement speed right up into DaHanG's face. That takes him down. Unfortunately, was stuck on the point, so Rapha's going to be able to knock him out, but more cavalry on the way. Rapha trying to steal his way. He's only got 6 HP. Tossing it out of the way, just he's brought down to 1. Did he get it to a teammate? Looks like it just goes down into the pit in the middle, but DaHanG's going to be able to take this, run it, should be able to pick up that armor, which will keep him alive long enough to go up this jump pad. And oh no, there's 3 opponents just waiting for him, so he gets shot right back down the hole. He's got to think of some other options here, as he can't just rush right back in. He needs some teammate support to be able to get that Soul into the Obelisk.
That was a nice ambush. You got to give Turbo's off to a great start in this round. If they can get this power up here, they'll be in much better shape. I mean, they're really putting it on Team Liquid. They got a good start, but they need this power up. The power up is so critical here in 15 seconds. 10 seconds, I should say.
Riggs is going to be able to toss that back. And what? Intercepted by Rapha. Rapha's doing some serious work in this round already, as we've seen. Multiple steals, the nice little multi-kill that he was able to get at the beginning, and unfortunately didn't lead to them actually getting the cap. And Pineapple, he's going to be trying to wait up on top. He mistimed the stealth, though, so he gives it to DaHanG, but DaHanG is going to get overwhelmed. So he could find himself going down if he doesn't watch out here. Down to just 100 HP on its own regard. They try to gauntlet him. That's not going to work, though. DaHanG holds on, and now we can push back in. Look to steal this away. That clutch is going to be problematic, though, right up in his face. He's got the gauntlet out ready to go, but DaHanG also pulls his out here, so he's trying to do some damage, but no! Pineapple moves in, takes him down, and now steals the protection to be used for the defense. It's not going to last very long, though. He's only going to have it for about 3 more seconds, and then it'll expire. Still,
big steal, take out the protection. Looked like he was ready to cap the Soul, and we've seen it many times. He's going to pass it right away. So he just stopped the whole passing routine from even starting. So Turbo off to a great start in this round. Their confidence has got to be growing here by the second.
Quick double kill for Pineapple there too, but he's finally knocked out by Wind, so is this going to be enough to push back in? Unfortunately, no. The defense is still too well set up. They do have Rapha moving in on the Anarchy there to try and steal it, and he's going to be able to take that away. So he's going to make a run up towards that B Obelisk, but once again, the interference setup is already there. They've already got 2+ players waiting on top of that B Obelisk to immediately stop that cap. So Liquid is going to have to hold up here a little bit, try to do some damage before they can really safely push back in and try to recap it.
Yeah, you got to give Turbo, again, a lot of credit here. We saw it earlier when DaHanG got away with the Soul, tried to go up that jump pad from the heavy armor, and they were just waiting for him with lightning guns, and they really just they just lit him up really bad. So Liquid was actually able to secure it, but Turbo's doing an excellent job right now.
DaHanG running interference. Look at this great LG spam. He's already got 1 kill with it. Gets the second. He is going to let the Soul Runner get away, but those kills should be enough now for him to run back into the site. Oh, great spin around from DaHanG. The 180 to save his own life. You get that additional kill, so 3 kills in just a few seconds for him. And now, because of those kills, they unfortunately on the Turbo side had to leave the obelisk completely open, so it was pretty easy for Liquid to go back in and steal it. And yeah, I don't imagine them having any problems running into their obelisk.
Yeah, this next power up again, critical. Turbo, even though they didn't get, they still got a few more percentage ticks out of that. They got a lead, so anything they can get right now to try to keep that lead is good. But this power up right now, Team Liquid really needs this power up.
Pineapple taking a risk here as he tried to get him. He was pushed off the last second. Rapha's going to steal it, and he takes off over towards his opponent's obelisk here to make sure that they can't steal it away. He needs that cooldown pop back up as well, so he can have the injection ready to go for that next fight, just in case things get a little bit dodgy for him, even though he has that protection. Now he can dive back in. He's basically invulnerable here now as he pushes over, and with that, he's going to be able to take down most of the offenders. This is a great chance now for Team Liquid to come back into this round.
Yeah, momentum has clearly shifted here. Turbo had a great start. They were like 40% or so to nothing, I mean, early on. Now Team Liquid has really just clawed their way back into this match with just some solid plays and a good power-up run there by Rapha.
Rapha really trying to make sure he keeps an eye on that jump pad there. There's been a lot of problems for Turbo, or for Liquid, as unfortunately they've been letting Turbo players either come through the teleporter or come up that jump pad there and really just assault the point all at once, and they really haven't been paying the most attention to that one, so that's why Rapha's keeping his eyes on it here to make sure that they know that's coming. So he should be calling this out now. He saw the Sorlight go through. He's going to see the Knicks go up the jump pad. Look as they cross the streams. Goodbye to the Knicks. Just going to get pushed right into the corner. Nothing you can do about that one. Nicely played there by the members of Team Liquid. Make sure that Knicks doesn't cause any problems. And for Rapha, well, he's going to have some nice play up close, and there we go. The rails for him. This is the second one, but his teammate comes in for the assist as ID and Rapha are just locking down that quadrant of the map.
Yeah, that always makes you feel good when you land a rail and you know the guy's low and all of a sudden you just see him get gibbed by your teammate. It's a great feeling to know your teammate's got your back like that.
Well, Rapha and the others. Rapha's going to get a nice spot with at least 1 or 2 more players. They're trying to work their way up the jump pad here. He is a little bit low, but again, saved by a teammate. ID keeping Rapha alive here, making sure that their defense stays strong. Players moving in. They weren't able to take the soul off of the point when it immediately goes back on, and ID again saving the day here with 11 HP. Picks up a kill. He needs that support relatively quickly, though, as he can edge up a few more rails, but eventually he is going to die, and that's going to lead to the soul getting stolen. One player goes down. Somehow ID is still alive right now as he gets a second kill, sitting in the back with 4 HP. Soul's going to get stolen, but intercepted on the way back. Players from the blue side over here for Turbo are trying to take it away, but they can't get it done. It's all Team Liquid, and they're going to take it 2-0 as they sacrifice their second obelisk.
I gotta say, man, ID. We saw it, you know, with the protection steal. It just seemed like in critical moments, man, this guy was really knocking him dead, literally. But
I mean,
you know, with the rail right there at the end, right? It's just 15 health, 9 health, 4 health. He's still hitting people, still lining people up. Somehow got the work in. Man, I got to give ID a lot of credit there. It just seemed like in those critical moments he was shining.
And to no surprise, ID was the top fragger for that map. 30 kills for him with 18 deaths. Rapha actually not that far behind at 28 and 19. Everyone from Team Liquid, all 4 players, were over 20 kills. I think there was 1 player on Turbo that managed to accomplish the same thing, but everyone else was between 10 and 20, I think.
Yeah, good performance by Team Liquid.